All right. All right. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday and welcome. We are about 15 minutes after for the review for King's Court. I hope you guys are ready to get into it because the Checkmate episode 3, everything changed again. Bonsoir, 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 Claudine. Hey, Tammy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You guys come on in and let's get into tonight's episode. I'm asking you guys, first of all, we're always going to rate the episode. But I also want to make sure that we recap a little bit what happened the last time. Basically, we know last week, Raquel and also the cancer went home. And so that left the house. They didn't have to make eliminations because those two ladies took themselves out of the equation, which I am going to say I think is kind of it's kind of a weak move in my opinion. Like, to me, hey Linda, come on in. If you come on a reality show, you got to know there's going to be a lot of competition. There are going to be other girls that are potentially, more physically attractive than you. There are going to be other girls that are more advanced. They're in their careers. It's going to be competition. So I would think that anyone coming on a reality show would need to be in a great place with their own confidence, right? Because you got to know that you're going to be faced with being compared to others. And if you're not comfortable with that, it's probably not the best thing for you. What's interesting to me is this show, these guys are probably, I'm going to say, they are probably, in my opinion, you guys let me know what you think. These are some of the most attractive Black men that we've seen on reality TV, right? As far as in the love space. Like, think about it. Usually we see someone who's either not that attractive or someone who is extremely like a Ray J. Like, you would never take Ray J seriously. I think Tyson may have similar qualities as, like, not taking him seriously, but he also is probably one of the most attractive Black men on the planet. So it kind of like, it makes it make sense. But Tyson Beckford, Carlos, and Thaddeus are just very attractive men. They're also very successful men, and they're in the limelight. Thaddeus, aka Tyson, is a WWE star. Carlos, ex-NBA star, and Tyson Beckford, probably the world's most famous male supermodel. I don't think you probably can get another male model that is more popular or well-known than Tyson Beckford. So you got to know that there's going to be a lot of competition. And not even just on the show, but just in their everyday lives. If you can't handle the other women on the show, you definitely cannot handle, their everyday lives. All of these men are inundated with beautiful women constantly. Beautiful women of all ages, all nationalities, all cultures, all regions. If you're not able to take the heat on the show, you probably aren't going to be able to take the heat in real life. It just isn't going to make sense. Tammy says, we know Tyson is playing with us all, but I want him to play 007. Tyson is playing in all of our faces and the faces of the women on the show. And I could see him as the visual version of 007, but his acting skills will not support that. Yes, Linda says, yes, and Carlos and Thaddeus are some big men. You ain't hiding going out with them. Thaddeus is huge. Like, there's no, and you walk in a room. I remember a friend of mine told me, like, if you walk into a room, they wanted you for that show. So my friend, the Hip Hop Inquirer, that delivers all the top news on celebrities, specifically when it comes to court cases. And who knew that Dennis also moonlights as a attractive male, a bachelor? Who knew that? And I thought that you were locked down, but it seems that you're still in these streets, Dennis. But where is it? You said Carlos got them hips. I didn't see Carlos as having hips. Come on, y'all. Don't. Come on. I don't see any. I know one thing. I don't like the Beijing, and I don't like the Beijing. But anyway, let's get into tonight's episode. Firstly, like I said, Raquel and Lexi went home, and Lexi needed to go home. If you guys don't remember who that is, let's see. Let's bring her up on the screen. Okay, so that's Lexi. She was the cancer in the house, basically, that told everyone, well, told the other ladies that she had done some research on Carlos and he had cheating in his background. Duh. Was anyone surprised? Okay, he's been married and divorced. Of course, it was due to cheating. And then Raquel, who was the beautiful model, who was so shocked that Tyson would want to talk to anyone besides her. She, checked out as well and went home. So they brought in 4 new women. Well, they brought in 7 new women last week, and let's go through those young ladies really quickly. That's the one that has the weird name. It's like Ariadelle or something like that. And then, of course, the young lady that Thaddeus likes, and is it like Ariel with the big hair? That's very different in that picture. Here is Brianna, who we're going to talk about a little bit today. And then Kat, and then Felicia, who kind of seems to have the same energy as Raquel. She is beautiful, but she doesn't like competition. She wants to be the one for Tyson Beckford. The fact that all these women think they're going to be Tyson Beckford's woman is hilarious to me. And then Steph, who is on the show, and I do like her energy. She was, excited about Tyson, but today she kind of switched up. We'll talk about that. And then Sada, who today we learned that she dated a famous celebrity, a singer. She wouldn't say who it was, but she said she had a really difficult time with that. What's interesting to me is if you don't want to be cheated on and you have a problem with a lot of women, what are you doing on the show? Can we ask that? What are you doing on this show? That's what's going to happen consistently on this show. I don't understand why you would ever come on a show like this if you have a problem with people, a man that you would be dating, having other options, having a lot of other options. Like, it just seems to be like, it makes me question your smarts, because either you are doing this because you want another celebrity, right? Because there's some of the girls have been very clear about the fact that they do want a celebrity. But how do you want one to be all about you when it's someone like that? It's crazy. Dating. Why bother dating a huge celebrity? Well, if you do, I assume that women that want to date celebrities are women that are okay with potentially being in an open relationship. That's what I'm going to assume. And there are certain celebrities that do not have that reputation, but they're not on this show. And I would say they're not on this show. I don't know what Thaddeus will do. We don't know. We do know what Carlos has done in his past. We don't know if he's still that person, but we are well aware that Tyson Beckford is still that person today. Today, Thaddeus actually held him accountable during his confessional and said that if Tyson didn't start, being a little bit more mature, then he was going to end up with nothing, because, the way he's handling himself, the ladies aren't going to take him seriously. But it's crazy. Even with Thaddeus saying that, Tyson is still the most popular guy in the house. So that lets us know that women, we say that we want someone who's faithful. We say we want someone that has husband qualities, someone that is, puts us first and prioritize. And yet Tyson is the most popular guy in the house. So maybe women are just as superficial as men. We say that we want things that we really don't want because our actions do not align with what we say, ladies. Our actions are not aligning with what we're saying. They're not. They are not. But let's talk about tonight's show. Now, we had 4 new ladies join, and I'm sorry for that picture. It is a little blurry, but we're going to have to go over the names of these ladies, even still with the blurriness. And next week, we'll get better pictures of them. But this here, this on the far left is Demi. She is 34. She is from Atlanta. She is a singer slash producer. And thank you, Where's the Juice? You are our complimentary, you're our complimentary male co-host for these. Okay. Does that work? We can have you as our complimentary male co-host. So yes, Demi is over here in this gray with the shorts. She is 34 years old, from Atlanta. Next, we have Tari, who is 37, and she is a model. She definitely looks like a model. She's beautiful. She's got those type of features. You can tell that she's going to be a very striking model. Next, we have Catherine, who is she works in cybersecurity, and she is 50 years old. First of all, I don't have Mo here, but I just want to give a hand clap at the fact that Catherine looks amazing. And not that that's the most important thing, as we're going to see, but Catherine looks great. She actually is definitely holding her own with the younger ladies when it comes to the visuals. But we're going to talk about where she is going to fall short. And then last but not least, we have Denitra, who is 34, and she looks like she works out all the time. It's almost like how Ariel has like that very muscular body. Denitra has the same thing, and she is she's extremely cut. She just looks like she could beat someone up. I would not suggest any of the ladies getting into a fight with her. Ironically, she said she does cosplay, because you guys, we get into that first scene. That first scene was crazy to me. I did not expect that. I used to go to some WWE events with my son, but my son is grown now, so it's been a really long time since I've been there. I don't remember seeing Thaddeus, but I may have. I just don't remember, but I did not expect, not She's Fine, I'd buy her a Shirley Temple right now. Okay, a Shirley Temple is a great drink. That is my drink of choice, either a Shirley Temple or a Coke with grenadine. So you're all right with me. Where's the juice? But yeah, so we got a chance to see Thaddeus in his element when the show opened, when the episode 3 Checkmate opened. We got a chance to see these new ladies were there, and the kings. Thaddeus, aka Titus, was missing, and Thaddeus left, and then Titus came out. So they had a ring. There were some other guys from the WWE who I don't know, because again, I have been relieved of WWE duties because my son is grown. So, and he stopped liking it when he was probably like 13 or 14. When he was little, he watched it a lot. So we get a chance to see him do what he does. He slaps one of them in the face. He actually he fights 2 men. Now, we know the fights are choreographed, so they're not real. But what is real is the fact that Thaddeus picked up another man and body slammed him. So that is sheer brute strength. And to a lot of women, that is very is the ultimate sign of masculinity. Strength is definitely muscles, big hands, just broad shoulders. He's the ultimate picture of masculinity. Like, if you looked up what masculinity would be in a dictionary and they had a picture version of it, it would probably be Thaddeus, because he is definitely strong. Yes, Linda, he is strong. So it was kind of weird seeing him in that light, and I picked up something. I want to know if you guys caught it. So he said that his alter ego, Titus, he is arrogant and cocky and, in your face. And Dennis said he would slam a ninja for that. Okay, Dennis. Now I don't know. Could you lift them up? Like, it's one thing to push them over, but Titus, he lifted them up, held them up, and then threw them. So I trust that you would. That would be what you would want to do. I just don't know if you would be able to do it, but I believe you. I believe that you would definitely give it the old college try. Yes, of course. But anyway, so it's kind of strange seeing Titus in that, because he's so relatable and just down to earth. In the first 2 episodes, we get to see this gentle giant. He's huge, he's strong, he's got all these muscles, all these pearly white teeth, this bald head, and it's just all this massive. But we get a chance to see him being very vulnerable. So then we see the other side of it, right? And I think even Tyson and Carlos were kind of thrown off, like, wow, this is for real. This is what this dude really does. So then they had the ladies come out dressed in a costume that would be like a wrestling costume. I did not really like that. I would have definitely, first of all, I told you guys, I would not have went on a first date and jumped out of an airplane. Definitely would not have done that. That would not have happened. No. No. I would not have jumped out of an airplane for Tyson Beckford. I would not have jumped out of an airplane for anyone. Not even my honey bunny now, who likes to jump out of planes. I would have convinced him not to do that. But I did not so I wouldn't have done that. And I also would not have done the dress up as a WWE character. And it did not age well, actually, because it just felt kind of corny. The ladies had to get into an outfit, so they had to know like their sizes, and they had to probably know that they were doing that ahead of time. But them dressing up in WWE costumes, it was kind of weird. So Demi was like the cat lady. So she had like this leopard bodysuit and these tall black boots, these like thigh-high black boots. I don't know what she was doing. She's throwing her leg up, and it was weird. I didn't like it. And then Catherine, the 50-year-old, and I don't want to keep referring to her as that, but I also need to make sure that you guys know that this woman it's crazy that she went on the show because she's so much older than everybody else. So Demi, who's here in the gray, she was the Catwoman. Catherine, who's here in the pink, was a Greek goddess. And then Denitra, who is here on the end, like in this lavender, with this six-pack out. She does cosplay, so she was kind of like this sailor chick that looks like a anime character. She looked like she could whoop somebody. She looked like she belonged in a video game. And then, unfortunately, Tari was a dominatrix, and she came out with something over her whole face. Now, Tari is a model. She's a supermodel. Not supermodel, because that has like a definition of it. She's a real model, right? So I understand why she took the chance and came out in the facial mask, the bondage, the S&M facial mask, because she's like a creative and she's all about the look. But it just didn't fare well for this show, because number one, the guys can't see you. She has a bald head already, so you couldn't see anything. You could see this tall, thin, figure with like this mask on and a whip. It just was weird. She rolled into the thing and tried to be sexy, and then she had on those like stripper heels, and she almost fell. It wasn't good. It just wasn't good. I feel like they set them up. They didn't give them a good introduction. It was corny. It was giving lame, trying to tie in Titus's WWE with the show. I didn't like it. Yes. So the girl Demi here on the end was Catwoman, but she wasn't really Catwoman. She just had on a leopard bodysuit. Like, if you're gonna be Catwoman, you have to have like the ears and everything. She just had on as a mid It was kind of a basic Catwoman outfit. It was very basic. And she didn't really exude anything cat-like. Cats don't really throw their leg. It was weird. It was not good. And the guys had to pick who they were going to go on a date with. Now, I will say this. We've all said that Thaddeus is our favorite, and it's not because of how he looks, and not because of how strong he is, but just because of his emotional maturity, right? We've said that together as a group, that we've made him our favorite. And I think tonight we saw that he definitely, at first I was like impressed with him that he likes strong women. I still am impressed, but he really, I think he almost likes women that look like they can fight him, or that look like they could compete with him in the wrestling arena. So he actually asked out, of course, Denitra, of course, the one that looks very strong and like she can beat people up. The lavender here on the end, that's who he asked out. And then he also, interestingly enough, Carlos suggested that he take Brianna out. Now, Brianna, you can't tell from that picture, but Brianna looks like she's about 6 feet tall. She is a Amazon. And at first he wasn't interested in her. And then Carlos told him that he thought they could be a good fit because it's obvious that Titus, aka Thaddeus, is not intimidated by intelligent women, physically strong women, physically big women, strong faced women. He's not intimidated by any of it. In fact, he wants a strong woman, physically, emotionally, spirit, like he really is committed to that type. If you thought he was exaggerating, now you know. And if you don't know, now you know. He is serious about women that are strong and all of that. Like look, dude, we want you to have a strong woman because he is attracted to muscles, bravado, like even the what he called aggressive, that is assertive. And when Dr. Shawana checked him and explained to him last week that him calling her aggressive was insulting to Black women, he rose to the occasion and apologized. I mean, he is probably one of the most emotionally mature men we've ever seen on reality TV. But I wonder, because I dated a bodybuilder for a short period of time. I would never like recommend that, unless that's what you're into. But he also was into like women that were like bodybuilders, right? And hell no, I'm not into that. But yeah, so maybe men like that, like women that can like challenge them. I don't think any other men like that, but these men like alpha females. So I would just say to any women out there, that have a copy of this book or need a copy of this book. If you guys don't have this, this is my book that came out 2 years ago, Dear Alpha Female, It's Not Him, It's You, an interactive devotional designed to help you attract the love you deserve. And what I did not know to put in this book is that you need a man like Thaddeus, because he is attracted to alpha females. And as much as some other men don't like that, it is refreshing to see a man who not only likes it, but he prefers it. He insists upon it. That is attractive. And that also should let all my sisters know that we're okay. If you've been running into men that are telling you that you're too strong, maybe you just need a bodybuilder. Maybe you just need a WWE wrestler, or someone that looks like that. Who knows? But I'm here for it. So I probably, wouldn't date him because it looks like he likes girls that look like they can fight, and I cannot fight. But kudos to him for showing that there is a different preference, because we get the preference that the other two guys have. I feel like Carlos and Tyson like the same type of woman. They like someone who is probably exotic looking, probably not, probably from a mixed race heritage, someone that looks that has the eye candy, the typical eye candy type vibe. I feel like that's what they're both attracted to, even though Tyson is trying to convince us that he's not. I don't believe that. I think that he, at the end of the day, his preference is definitely going to be mixed race or a different race, you know. But yeah, so Thaddeus goes out with these strong women, but I was surprised because he did not invite Dr. Shawana. Now, you guys know the first two episodes, I was almost convinced that Dr. Shawana and Titus were going to be, or Thaddeus were going to be a total connection because they were locked in. She told him how she felt. They had a vulnerable moment. He was very clear. He's very intentional. This episode, we don't see him really interacting with her. We see her feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Not that she's like, I don't think that it's because she's insecure. I think that she's smart enough to know, like, if I'm not his preference, then let me move out of the way, right? Because she's strong mentally, but I don't think she can beat nobody up. I don't think. And he really did show preference in today's episode and even last week's episode, how he was so excited about Ariel. And Ariel is kind of like, she has that strong body. You guys can't see it in this picture, but she has that strong body as well. And then, our girl, Dr. Shawana, she little, she just cute and little and smart. She don't look like she could beat nobody up. I don't think she could pick nothing up and throw it, but these other girls, Denitra, child, Denitra looked like she should be in the WWE. In fact, I hope after this show goes off, I hope she gets an opportunity to try out. She looks like she belongs in there now. She was like, oh, this cosplay, I do this every weekend. I was like, girl, that is, and then she's 35 too. So that's like, she's into it. She should definitely be one of the WWE people. But I was disappointed to see him not really show Dr. Shawana any attention. And he even said that he, it was maybe good that he was getting a chance to like keep his options open because he didn't want to be like Carlos. And I was disappointed. I was disappointed because I felt like she really like gave him, their conversation was good. Like her being in education, him having a school, them both having like, it just, I wish he would have been more like Carlos and kept his intentions clear, but still interact with the other women. Not only did he ignore her and not talk to her, he did mention that he was wondering why she was in the back. He was like, she's acting like a background singer. I don't want her to, she's not a background singer, but sir, you kind of acted like she was, you know what I mean? So, oh my goodness. I did not know that. Oh, wow. Let me see. Girl, where did you see this at? I got to go look that up. Hey, you there says, oh, wow. I just read about Titus and his mom had him at 11 due to rape. Wow. That is really sad. I did not know that. Man, you just never know what people have gone through. He did mention tonight, he just seems to be a model person, but I'm sure he's in a lot of work to get to that space. Oh, yes, Claudine, that's true. Let me get to that in a second. But yeah, he mentioned today when he was talking that he grew up very poor, and he was talking to our seasoned lady, Catherine. The crazy thing is, Catherine is an old lady name. Yeah, Crystal could be too. I saw something that said Crystal was an auntie name. There's a meme that says Crystal is an auntie name. I'm going to look that up. Hey, thank you for sharing that. His mom has a pro-choice story. Wow. I'm going to look that up and we'll talk about it next week. I don't want to talk about it tonight because I don't have information, but I definitely will talk about it next week so we have some context. Yeah, so he ignored Dr. Shawana, and I thought that was going to be his boo. And also, I agree with Claudine, how interesting it was, because you guys remember last week, Ariel had on this see-through outfit when she came in the morning that you could see her gluteus maximus, right? You could see that apple bottom clearly. And she was kind of She mentioned that she thought that the ladies today were like dressed kind of trashy or something, and I was just like, girl, you came with your whole behind out last week. But it's just showing that women can be extremely catty, and that's what they're doing. Like Thaddeus asked all the women to come over and greet the new women when they came in. The four new ladies moved in, and the other ladies were just kind of standoffish. But I also think, y'all, that this is how men do us. They always want us to compete, and then when the claws come out and we start doing like this, they're like, "Why are you doing that?" Well, because you put us in a situation to where we have to compete. Don't do that. Like, that is the problem. Men put women, if you acknowledge what you want and make your intentions clear, then the women don't have to do that, which is what Carlos did when it came to Lexi. You remember, Lexi was upset that he had this connection with Janae, and he just told her, "Well, I have a connection with her. That's who I feel the biggest connection with, and that's that." I respect that, right? But when you do like Tyson is basically inviting the women to have a free for all cat fight. He is in the hot tub with pretty much all the women that are not, except for the main ones for the other guys. Everybody else in the house is in the hot tub with Tyson. They are playing themselves, especially our girl, I have to call her Claudine, Catherine. Catherine is 50, and I know you guys are probably going to get mad at me. It's okay. If you're watching the replay, you're going to leave me a message. I know. I don't think a 50-year-old woman should go on a reality show looking for love unless she's going on a Golden Bachelor. I don't think it can work because I think men are always going to prefer a younger woman, especially on a show like this where you still have men, even the ones that have substance, still have some superficiality there. And she just, even though she looks great, she's still 50. She's an empty nester. She's, got grown children. She doesn't want to have any more children. She probably can't have any more children. And of course, Tyson wants nothing to do with that. Now, keep in mind, Tyson is 54 years old. Now, that's how old he is in human years. In his mentality, he's probably less than half of that, at least from what he acts like on the show. He's extremely immature. But he's 54, right? The other guys are in their 40s. So she's not necessarily inappropriate age. She's age appropriate for them, but because of how life is, women are always, especially when it comes to men that are looking for a superficial type relationship. And we know Carlos, even though he's grown, he still wants a certain look. And that is not going to be a 50-year-old woman. And Carlos is only 43, so I won't even press him like that. That's quite a bit of a age difference. Let's see how old Thaddeus is. Yeah, he's 48. So Tyson is the oldest one and the least mature. Isn't that crazy? That's why I always tell people, like, age is not indicative of maturity, unfortunately. But yeah, Tyson and Catherine are actually age appropriate as far as the number, but not the mental. And he actually acknowledges that she's mature and sophisticated, but you could tell when he was saying that he ain't interested at all. There's nothing about Catherine at 50 being an empty nester with with a daughter in medical school that Tyson Beckford is interested in. He wants to rub around in the hot tub, in the ice in the hot tub with these, exotic women. He's not trying to be with someone that's serious about life. He's not serious, But I don't even think that Thaddeus would give her a chance, even though she's only 2 years older than him. They don't want a 50-year-old. And you're right, Tyson does look the youngest. He's like a vampire. Him and Naomi Campbell. I told y'all, I think him and Naomi Campbell should be together because they just look the same. They look the same. They do not age. They do not age. They are definitely aesthetically beautiful people. Tammy says 54 with a newborn ain't hot, and yet so many wealthy, successful men are doing it, and even just wealthy. You can be it's wealthy and successful. Even men that are not wealthy or successful are having children in their 50s. That's just men. But when you add in wealthy and successful, then that's definitely going to be like the norm. Um, and I think they probably would rather a woman be like in her 30s. You know, we know what it is, but I don't think that a woman should ever come on reality TV at that age. I think you're not going to be appreciated, and you cannot play a young woman's game. You have to play a seasoned woman's game, and you're going to lose every time when you got a house full of 32-year-olds. It's not going to work. So I don't know why they put her on there. I'm sure we didn't see who went home, but I'm sure she's going to go home. I'm sure she's going to go home because when Tyson said that he did not want to have any kids, um, now, Thaddeus said he doesn't want to have any kids either. He would be okay being a stepfather, but he don't want that 50-year-old lady. He does not. He doesn't. I thought it was interesting that Carlos went out with Steph. I thought I was shocked, and I think she said she was shocked too, so that made two of us. And I also think that they asked women out on this date on this episode that they weren't really attracted to. I think even though Thaddeus is saying that he's, there is a connection with Brianna, I don't think that he would. I think they're going to go back to that standard of what they really think is going to be what they're going to get props for on their arm. Even as evolved as Thaddeus is, I can't see him being with someone that he could reach over and tap on the shoulder. Did you guys see that? He reached over, was like, I can't do this. She's almost the same height as him. And she said, which I appreciate that actually being said on television, that she is, so tall. A lot of men, even big men, prefer like a petite woman. They want to feel like they could protect her. And she, it's be difficult to protect her. She's probably not to protect you, or maybe you protect each other, but she's just not this young. I mean, it's not this small, petite, frail little thing. She's a sturdy Amazon woman. And it's funny that Carlos was like, oh, since you like the strong, let's take her. But Thaddeus ain't gonna do that. He likes Ariel. He actually said today that Ariel he was excited about her. And I was surprised because Janae has had him in a chokehold. And I was very surprised. I was like, this is not going anything like I thought. I thought that Briquel was going to stick around. We didn't know she had the pretty girl privilege problem. I did not know that. I thought that Titus was locked into Dr. Shawana. He ain't really want to talk to her at all today. And then she's actually in the mixer. Now, we know some of these things are just done for the show, but she's in the elimination mixer. She may go home. Like, she's not going to go home, but I'm like, why is she in the elimination mixer? And she said that she could see that he wasn't really, checking for her. And then she went on a date with Carlos. Now, he asked her out. I think production made him do that. And he said it was just still a friend vibe. But, Carlos ain't interested in that at all. He's not interested in anything that's not swirly, in the words of Wendy Williams. He's just not. Not. So I don't know. He's sending Dr. Shawana home. Don't say that. Don't say that, Tammy. I don't want that. That's going to make me not like him as much anymore. I'm going to come back with a bad attitude next week if that happens. I don't like Brianna for Thaddeus. I do not. I really just like Dr. Shawana for him. Why are they doing this to us? Yes, Carlos did take fillers on the date. I agree with you, Tammy. Carlos took fillers. He was just trying to make for good TV because at this point, I really still think he's locked into Janae. But I am surprised to see him saying that he wants to, unless they told him to do that. Tyson is just wasting our time. I don't even really care about him. I did think his conversation with Liliana was ridiculous. This is Liliana, and she She must have some extensions in this picture because her hair looks different on the show. It looks a little fuller and neater here than it does on the show. She must have some extensions in. But she's another one that was like a little upset that Tyson was giving attention to other people. And it's like, but y'all chose the one that was the biggest player and the one that, what do you expect him to do? And Liliana cannot expect him to look at her and dismiss everybody else. I understand Raquel thinking that, but Liliana, I don't understand why he would think that. I'm confused about that. Now, Felicia, let's talk about Felicia. Felicia is really wanting Tyson. You guys remember when she first, in her intro video, she mentioned that she was good with dating. She wants to date celebrities. That's what she actually, she's excited about that. Today, she said that she was, she was going to be more strategic. She doesn't want to be friends with any of the ladies. She considers them the op, and she wants to focus on getting Tyson. That's her man. And if you guys notice, Tyson was touching on everybody, feeling like the energy that Tyson was putting out is the type of energy that women should be moving away from. But instead, a lot of us are moving towards that energy, and then you want to cry when you get hurt. Tyson was handsy. First of all, what was he touching on Liliana? There was no curves there. He was just doing it to be doing it. I think he was just doing it to see if he could. He is for everybody. He's for the streets, but it's just I don't like it. He was handsy with her. He was handsy with Felicia. He just who was that was that cat in the hot tub with him, laid up against him in the ice bath. Linda says she looks like she can be Delicious' sister. She's pretty, but I would like to see her date. I don't think she looks like Delicious at all. I think she's naturally just a very pretty girl. I don't see anything natural about Delicious, but I respect that opinion. I think you said that earlier or on another one. I don't see her looking like Delicious at all, y'all. Delicious to me is nothing natural or naturally soft or pretty about her. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. We're here to share our opinions. But I think she's a really, really pretty girl. I think that she just, I guess when you have, it's more pretty privilege. Tyson and all his women have pretty privilege. And they feel like he should be picking them, and he is not going to do it because he's not even about picking. Tyson just wants to come on here and have a good time. He is trying to be the Hugh Hefner. Y'all saw him in that cowboy hat. He is trying to be the Hugh Hefner of reality TV. And I think he's probably not going to pick anybody. And then he's probably going to come back again or go to a different show because Tyson he's so unserious. It is crazy that he's 50. Let's look at these men up close again. Let's look at it. He is the oldest. That is crazy. Oh, genetics are not fair. Genetics are so unfair. Y'all see that? Tyson does not look a day over 35. And he's 20 years older than that. Meanwhile, this picture of Carlos, he looks about 56. Thaddeus looks a good 53. And they're not. They're not even in their 50s yet. Carlos is the youngest one and looks the oldest. That's crazy. It's wild. That is wild. Anyway, all right. So tonight's episode, it bothered me because I thought we were on a trajectory with Shawana and Thaddius, and we're off. I don't like that. And then I also, I didn't expect. See Carlos looks better there because it's less Beijing, but Tyson is still killing all of them. He looks 20 years younger than them. That is crazy. Joda says, I refuse to watch the scam. I don't think this is a scam. I think this is a really good show because we're learning a lot of things. And I think Most reality shows do not actually have men who actually, aside from Tyson, I think we're getting good mansplaining from Thaddeus and also from Carlos. Just because a man is superficial doesn't mean that we can totally just, um, disregard what he feels or what he's saying. That's not fair. But hey, this is why does Tyson dress so loud? Because he's a model and he wants to be seen all the time. He's very like he wants to be the life of the party. He wants to be the focus of the party. Like even with the other guys, I think it's important to him that he stands out more than them. I think he feels like he does not. He has to be the most popular one, the most popular guy in every situation. Oh, Linda B, that took a turn. Look what Karuchi is dealing with now. Yikes. You know what? I wanted to talk about that today. I didn't. I talked about Housewives, but I did want to talk about a little bit about that. We'll talk about that at the end. Ooh, nosy nurse. That's no wonder she responded that to you. These older men just want to clap some younger cheeks. Those young women aren't going for the ED issues that come with the older age for long. For real. I don't know, because I think that as long as the check is there, they may be okay with the ED, and the ED can be handled. Since we've just gone into that in the chat, we know that Deion Sanders is dating Chris Brown's ex, Karuchi. That is how crazy this world is when it comes to older, wealthy men. Deion Sanders, let's look at the age gap, shall we? Shall we look at the age gap? And I'm excited that I'm happy that Deion is has recovered from his cancer. He was dealing with bladder cancer. And so Deion Sanders is 57 years old. And Karuchi is 37. They're 20 years apart. 57 and 37. I'm surprised she's 37 because I just remember her as being Chris Brown's girlfriend. Chris Brown, I think, is 35 or 36. So, and yes, Deion is missing some toes, but he's still Deion Sanders, though. Like I can't really hate her on that one because this is Deion Sanders. But I think that there are a lot of young women that like older men because they like the security, they like the maturity, they like the check, they like the fact that an older man is going to be really obsessed with them. They're going to have the upper hand. If you are 37 and your man is 57, you are running the show. You're running the show because he's trying to please you. He's trying to keep you. He's going to pay for it. He's going to pay like he weighs, as they say. Y'all heard that? He's going to pay like he weighs. But if women can't play a man's game. Poor Catherine had no business being cast on that show. I wonder that too, hey there. I used to think that Deion Sanders and Tracy Edmonds were the perfect couple. They just look so good together, but I am not here for this Karuchi thing. This is foolishness and folly. But it also is not surprising because men are always going to be swayed and tricked by a pretty face. And God, Lord knows if it's a biracial face, it's the one that they are going to always be, just locked into. But I want to say, moving on, can we put out a petition that they do not accept the Golden Bachelor? And we need a Golden Bachelor or Golden Bachelorette that's of color. But otherwise, don't be putting no 50-year-old woman on the show with 34-year-old women competing for a man. There's no way that she's gonna ever be able to compete with that. Not on TV. Now he may sneak to her room at night for some good conversation and some good cooking, but he's not gonna be there on television for taking her seriously. It's just not. That's just not how it works. But I will tell you guys this before I get out of here. So I was in South Carolina this past weekend, and what I did notice is that a lot of the younger men really, really like older women. And especially because a lot of older women are keeping themselves up. So one of my girlfriends was with me, and she's really, really pretty. And this 29-year-old was just following her around like a puppy. It was so cute. He was attentive. He was bringing her stuff. He brought us some watermelon. We liked the watermelon. I needed it because I was getting dehydrated. He brought us some watermelon. But yeah, now the problem is my girlfriend, who is 51 but doesn't look like it, she doesn't want to have children and can't probably have children at this point. I don't know if she can or not, but I'm assuming no. But he's gonna want kids. And what did he tell her? He was like, "Oh, let's have a baby," because he just really, really likes her. She's a pretty woman, and she was like, "Boy, I'm not having no kids." So of course it wouldn't, it can't last long because an older woman she's got her kids. Her kids are probably the same age as the younger man. But an old man will have a woman that is younger than his kids. His girlfriend may be younger than his daughters. That is the case with so many men. It's so weird. But and that is definitely probably gonna be the case with Dion. But back to this show, Catherine. No, ma'am. This is not the playing field for you, my love. You have got to put yourself on a different playing field. Now, if you start playing with men at 50, you start entertaining men in their 60 to 70, which is old, but it could work. It could work because then you'll have the upper hand because then you'll be the young hot thing. But I know men in their 60s that try to date women in their 30s and 40s. That's just the way of the world. It's unfair. It's not fair. And it's also not fair that we can't have children older in life where men can still have children. I think that their sperm should become old and not work. Because it really doesn't make sense for a 50-year-old to have a newborn, a 60-year-old to have a newborn. I'm sorry. I'm just saying I can just say what I think. I want their sperm to get old and to stop working. I want it to stop working. I don't like the fact that the 70-something-year-old man can have a brand new baby. That is ridiculous. I don't know. Anyway, that's my thoughts. So, all right, let me give you guys my rating for tonight. I mean, for Sunday's episode. Checkmate, which is weird. I don't understand why it was called Checkmate. Shannon Sharp, child, don't start me on Shannon Sharp. And that's a whole nother thing because that's just young women and possibly young men, quite possibly and allegedly young men. Linda says their sperm is old, but the young women have so many eggs. That is true. It's probably the egg. The young egg is reviving the sperm. The young egg is doing CPR and reviving the sperm. And it's working and it's not right. And I think it should be stopped. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. You guys think about like who is it? Al Pacino? How old? I think Al Pacino has a very young child. And I like Al Pacino, but dude, let's see. Let's see. I don't like it. But see, as a woman, you can't. Al Pacino is 85 years old, and his youngest son, Roman, is 2. His son is the age of his great grandson. You're 85. You can have a son in his 60s that has a son in his 40s, that has a son in his 20s, that has a son that's 2. Want to do it one more time? Okay. If you're 85 years old, 85-year-old Al Pacino, you could have a son that's in his 60s that could have given you a grandson that is in his 40s, that had given you a great grandson that is in his 20s, who has given you a great grandson that is 2. Isn't that crazy? I know Robert De Niro and Al Pacino are both cool and they both have the baby, the 2-year-old. Great, great grandson. What is this? Why is 85-year-old sperm still working? There are some things that we just got to ask God when we get to that. Like, why? Why is 85-year-old sperm active? First of all, I'm sure it doesn't. I don't do that, but it is after dark. I'm sure it does not. It is not delivered with the same vigor that it would have been, and it's probably barely coming out. But why is it even potent? It's ridiculous. I don't even think it was a turkey baster. I think these men are actually impregnating these young women and bearing these great great grandsons. And they do know the women on the play day. But imagine if your dad was 85 and you were 2. He's going to be 100 when you're 18. It's crazy. Oh, the old sperm and the young egg still produces a baby. Anyway, horrible, horrible. I will get on the Travis Hunter situation on next week. Yes. Jeez Louise. That is horrible. But yeah, Catherine doesn't need to be on this show. This is not the show for Catherine. Steph, Carlos, do not be deceived by Carlos. And the rest of y'all, I don't know what y'all doing with Tyson Beckford, because Tyson ain't he's for everybody. He's for the streets. He is community peen. What is, I mean, why is he? He's on the show for eye candy, but these women have got to stop. It's just showing us in living color how women play themselves. It's a lesson. It's a live lesson. It's a lesson in real time of how women make the wrong decisions and play themselves. So with that being said, I'm going to rate Sunday's episode, Checkmate of King's Court, and I'm going to give it a 7. I'm going to give it a 7, which is the lowest I've given this show. Because I think I did like 8.5. Then I did like 9. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 7 because I really didn't like the ladies in those uniforms. That was really weird. And I also do agree the dates were lame. The hip hop date, the hip hop breakdancing date. And did y'all catch that shade? Did y'all catch that shade that Felicia threw our sister Catherine? Our sister Catherine took some shade, and she actually beat the young girls at the breakdancing. And then Felicia gonna say, well, that's because she had an advantage because she was around when that music was out. Oh, that pissed me off for our sister Catherine. But yeah, that was a lame date. I even thought that the bowling football thing was lame. The golfing was lame. I didn't like the dates. Hip hop breakdancing. And the 50-year-old wins. She was moving too. She was moving. I give it to her. She came around. She wasn't stiff. She obviously she stretches. She's doing all those things, doing all the things. Felicia looked crazy, and Liliana looked even crazier. And then they tried to shade our good sis. And Tyson was not impressed. She did all that for nothing. She went around and spun on the ground for no reason because Tyson wasn't trying. He was not open to her at all. So anyway, I'm going to give it a 7. I'm not doing 7.5. I'm not moving to 7.5, let me be, because I hated that scene of the ladies in those wrestling uniforms. I actually really want to give it a lower grade than that. And then Titus and Dr. Shawana, I just didn't. She probably could have spin on her head. I think so. With the way she did that, a spin was coming next. Yeah, I know I wasn't crazy about this episode because I feel like production is forcing stuff. I don't think that Carlos would have asked Steph out if production didn't tell him to. I don't understand why Titus is taking Rihanna out. Why was Dr. Shawana going out with Carl? Like, this is just, it just didn't make sense today. I'm at a 7. I did appreciate the conversation with Titus, aka Thaddeus, and Catherine, but she was doing too much. Talking about, I used to do the same thing, girl. Our good sis, she's has game, but it's not gonna fare well for her. So anyway, I hope next week is better because I was super excited about this show. Um, and I was having a good time. And now episode 3, we've hit kind of a Jonah. We want you to watch it, so because I feel like it's good for us to talk about. But I will tell you guys this before I get out of here. There's a new show on OWN titled Heart and Hustle. It is set in Houston, and I saw the first episode, and I am addicted. I am addicted, and I'm going to be doing reviews of that show as well. So we're going to have some good fun this for the rest of the summer. I'm going to be doing Heart and Hustle. Scorpio Mo and I will be doing Ready to Love, which is back on Friday. And yeah, and of course, Love and Marriage Huntsville. And I got to post that video for y'all too. I will. So yeah, I'm going to say 7. Let me know what you guys think. Tammy, I'm with you. She said first, he said Dr. Shawana was aggressive, and he pulls back, he ignores her. I'm pissed. But did you guys hear what Carlos told her? Carlos told Shawana, well, he liked you being aggressive. And I think that he did. He wants her to step up because he was like, why is she acting like a background singer? Because you reduced her to one, sir. It's your fault. Like, you should have. And there was a way even for her. He didn't. If he couldn't take her on a date, he could have at least had some time and energy with her. But he didn't do that. Now I'm starting to think Titus might be a little full of it, just like the rest of them. We already knew Carlos was a little bit full of it, but he's a lot more emotionally mature. Tyson doesn't even count. Tyson doesn't count. That's what we're gonna do every episode. Tyson doesn't count. He's a non-factor. Anyway, yes, I know, Tammy. I was upset. It was ridiculous, and I love the fact, but I do love the fact that she did not play herself. She was not going to try to be all up in his face and doing the most. Boy, please. Mm-mm. I love you, or I like you, but I won't be a fool. That is just something that I cannot do. In the words of Sierra, that is something I cannot do. I'm not going to play myself for somebody that's not mine, or play myself, period. Not going to do it. So, yeah, Tyson doesn't count. I'm interested to see if Carlos is going to go back to Janae, and that's going to continue to be solid. And I'm interested to see what's going to happen to Dr. Shawana. If Titus lets her go, I may totally check out of him, period. Then I'm going to be like, we knew somebody that big wasn't going to be on his best behavior. He is huge. I think that one of Thaddeus' exes is Omarosa, who is not big in stature, but is mean in conversation. Does she have locks, or is that just how her hair is? Don't she have sister locks? Okay, Omarosa. Okay, girl. I didn't know that. Yeah, so we'll see. 7, King's Court 7, hoping to come back next week with a strong 8, hoping to see Dr. Shawana still there, hoping to see Janae and Carlos locked in, hoping to see. We'll see. I don't think this new crop of girls really fit the show, but they're here. We'll see. I think they had enough. I didn't think we need to bring these 4 in. And last but not least, lastly, even though I've said it several times, our girl Catherine needed better. It's not for her. I love you guys for watching. It has been a great Monday. I'm just letting you guys know what I am up to this week. I am off tomorrow to a WNBA game with Beatrice. I've never been to a WNBA game, so I will let you guys know how that experience is. I will take some footage and let you guys know how that is, because I've never ever been to see women play basketball. I've always, whenever I would go to basketball games, it was definitely to watch the guys. So, or even, when I was married and not looking at the guys, definitely the idea of just the game and getting into it, but I've never been to a WNBA game. So I'm excited to see how this is going to stack up. If the energy is the same, I will let you guys know. It will be the dream. Yes, I'll let you guys know. All right. You guys be good. Treat yourselves, treat others well, treat yourself even better. And Scorpio Mo and I will be here on Wednesday with Dating Diaries. All right. We'll check in with you guys midweek. I'll see you then. Bye.